Hello everybody, today we're going to be unboxing the Logitech G604 wireless mouse, and then later we're going to compare it to its predecessor, the G602. Now there was a G603, but I don't consider it a successor to the G602 because it looks radically different and it gets rid of the little 8 buttons on the side. So here's all the different sides of the box here on the G604. It has the, typical manufacturer claims and logos and whatever kind of advertising they make it look all nice and pretty. But we'll show you all the different sides anyway, because what kind of unboxing video would it be if you didn't get to see it all? And hey, look, it has the barcodes and everything on the bottom of it. Woohoo! So hey, let's get this guy open. Okay, so right away we can see the mouse just kind of peeking away at us at its inside of its little plastic shell here. Woot, look at that! Hey, it's a G604. You can already see that it includes a battery, a nice little Duracell there. It's a Duracell OEM battery, so you're not going to be able to find that in the store. It only comes with products that require batteries. And hey, look, it's a user manual that you can't really see because the camera brightness is up a little high. Let's see if we can do something about that. Oh, much better. Okay. Hey, let's read this. It is a quick setup guide. Shows you where your hand goes. Oh no, that's to show you where the battery goes and what's inside of the laptop. Yay. Let's open it up. And whoop, came apart already. Whoops. No, I'm just kidding. That was a separate piece entirely, and it's got another little button on there. How nice. It shows you what the button does. There's a nice little booklet here for other stuff. Logitech always has to push their other products, because why not? Helps you buy their stuff, keeps you in the Logitech ecosystem. And a nice little sticker there that you can slap on your PC if you want. Yay. And here we are with the frozen in carbonite shell of the Logitech G604 mouse. It's pretty easy to get out. Don't have to use any special tools. The cardboard box looks like it's wrapped around it. And there's even a little plastic sheet on the bottom of the mouse to protect it as well. Taking it out is relatively easy. I've seen worse. There we go, it just pops right out. And then we peel off that plastic sheet on the bottom. And the bottom of the mouse is radically different than the G602. It takes a nice curved approach, far less detail than the G602. It's just one big old matte plastic finish there with rubber grips on the sides. Looks like it might take less damage from an uneven surface like a card table or something like that, which is what I usually put my G602 on these days without a mouse pad. I know, I'm so evil. You're gonna see what kind of damage that causes to your mouse later as we take a look at the comparison of the G604 and the G602. So there's the 6 side buttons that make a reappearance after they disappeared on the G603. The labels on the keys are right on the edge instead of kind of off to the side. There's still some little blue plastic pieces to peel off of the top there to protect the glossy plastic that's in the middle, surrounding the egregiously large mouse scroll wheel. You're not done yet, dude. Nope, there's another one. See, a little bit of a purplish tint there. Yeah, you gotta peel that off with your dry fingernails. Yep, your gross, ugly, dry fingernails. Looks like you need to be clipped a little bit there too, but that's okay, because a little bit longer, better for peeling off plastic sheets. Look at that, it's like a nice little plastic G string. Alright, now that we've taken off the plastic thong, what does this button do? Oh, it locks our scroll wheel So we have a little bit of a taste of the more professional series of Logitech mice with their infinity scrolling technology. Basically, it's just a toggle. Look at that. That is pretty. Love it. I can't wait to try this in for my work. I work with a lot of large Excel spreadsheets, so, and of course our DPI toggles on the, or our DPI settings adjustment on the left there, which is different from those 6 buttons. Those 6 buttons are also very useful for, oh, and there's the toggle for on and off. But those 6 buttons are very useful for a professional environment that can be macroed to Control-C and Control-V for copy-paste. And it has textured grips on the side. The G602, you'll see later, doesn't have all the textured grips that the G604 does. So now what are we doing? Oh, we're trying to take off the butt. It's very easy to unclip. Probably, it's definitely easier than the mechanism that's on the G602. Although it doesn't seem to clip back on as securely. When it clips back on, you kind of wonder, like, is it actually clipped on or not? And so the wireless receiver is already housed in the mouse when we get it. I think in the G602 it was already separate, but nope, they just go ahead and ship it inside of the mouse. And instead of the 500 or whatever megahertz label on it, just says G604. Nothing on the back. And of course there's the Logitech G logo on the side of the adapter, in case you forget what your adapter is for. Like, what's this plugged into the side of my computer, huh? What is this wizardry? What is it for? Oh, that must be for my mouse. Oh, yes. Oh, it goes right there. Oh, how cool is that? I think it's upside down. It's upside down. Whatever. And then, of course, with the G604, it only takes 1 battery. The G602 took 2 batteries. I'll report later on just how good the battery life is. What else is in this little box here? Looks like a cable of some kind. This is our USB extension cable. And this is actually kind of a fancier sort of one. So this is something you can plug your wireless adapter into in case you don't have a hub, or your hub is far away, or your desktop is far away, or maybe your laptop is far away. Who knows? Maybe you like to use your laptop from the other side of the room. I don't know why you would. Maybe you have a 60-inch laptop. That would be extremely uncomfortable. So it's got a nifty little face to it with some legs. And the bottom of it is actually kind of glossy. I don't know why. That's not the part you stare at, man. What you thinking, Logitech? Go home. You're drunk. We're gonna go ahead and plug in our non por la vente battery now. Of course, there's a little diagram on the inside of it to show you which way the battery should be placed, which is just like so. Unfortunately, the battery does add a significant amount of weight still to the G604. And then this is the top, how it fits back on. I had trouble aligning it for the first time. Yeah. There we go. And when it fits back on, it doesn't really seem like it doesn't really click back in. It just sort of kind of fits on it. So now we've got this G602 and the G604 right next to each other. Immediate observations is that there's no like plastic guard outside of these 6 buttons on the side like there is in the G602. The G604 gets rid of those entirely, and the buttons are more concaved shaped. They're shaped more for the size of your thumb. And of course the G602 is a little bit more edgy in its design. So here we have a nice side shot of the G604 versus the G602. As you can see, those macro buttons on the G604 conform to the size and shape of the mouse, whereas on the G602, they conform to the design of the mouse. And also the G604 has textured grips on the left, whereas the G602 does not. So here's a shot of the underside of both mice. As you can see, the G604 is more rounded, has a little bit of a metallic finish to that plastic. And then here's the G602. It's all flat, has those nice little stylish grooves in it. And then there's the back piece that actually comes off of the G602, which hides the battery compartment and also a little spot for the wireless adapter. It does take quite a bit of prying power to get in there, and then the rubber feet conform to the shape of the mouse and then sort of kind of just blend into the overall flat plane that it is. Here's a nice little close-up of those 6 macro buttons on the G602, and you can see just how that textured grip is formed. And it's the same material as on the G602, but now it has that textured grip pattern in it here. As you can see, the G602, same material as the G604 on the left, but it doesn't have those little grooves in there that really catch your thumb. At least they help catch your thumb. It's not like an immense amount of difference, and also the 6 macro button labels are on the top of the buttons instead of on the side. We'll see how those wear over time on the G604, because as we can see on the G602, they're not in your way. Here's what I'm talking about on the G604. The labels of the buttons are directly on the side of those 6 macro buttons, so we'll see if it wears away with your thumb. So let's flip the G604 up onto its top here. We can see the textured grip is only on the left side, and it's all the same material, which is nice. Here on the G602, we can see that there's a different kind of groove in the plastic. It's a little bit of a more rubberized plastic. At least that's what it feels like with that texture in it. So it's not that bad. But also the G604 is more concentrated. So the textured grip is only where your palm impacts the top of the mouse. And of course the wheel on the G602 just so radically different. Here's the wheel on the G604 again. It's metallic in texture, and it has those huge grooves in it. It's kind of slippery too. When you're trying to use it with your index finger, it will slip when you're trying to scroll up with it. We're going to get in the real meat and potatoes here about the difference between the G602 and the G604 now. As we can see on here on the left side of the G602, this space is bigger. And then on the right, we have, it's also just shaped a little bit, just slightly differently, so that your ring finger will slip more easily on the right side of the G602. That's your ring finger that I'm flexing right there. So that will slip more easily when you're trying to lift the mouse on the G602. And it's just shaped just a little bit differently. It's more smooth on the G602. Whereas the shape of the mouse is a little bit more aggressive on that top part on the G604, so it catches your finger a little bit more easily. And then this space on the left here is it's larger on the G602. It's because there's more space, it's easier for your thumb to slip out, because it doesn't feel like the mouse grips your thumb. So we're going to compare that now to the G604. That space on the left is smaller, so your thumb just kind of fits in the groove there. It does still catch the buttons when you lift up the mouse every once in a while, so that might be a little bit annoying. But that textured grip actually does help out a little bit too. And now we're going to take a look at the right side of the mouse here. So there's that textured grip again. So that is what's going to help catch your ring finger when you try and lift the mouse. And then it's also shaped just slightly different so that the mouse conforms to the shape of your hand just slightly better than the G602. So this has been an unboxing of the Logitech G604 and comparison to the Logitech G602 wireless mice. Overall, I think the G604 is a step up from the G602 with the different shape of the mouse and the textured grips on the left and the right. The scroll wheel adds more than it takes away. I miss the texture of the G602's scroll wheel, but I love the idea of the infinity scroll from the G604. So if you already have a G602 and you think it's great and you love it, then the G604 may not be a big enough upgrade for you unless you really want that infinity scroll wheel. But if you like the shape of the G602, you don't think it can use the scroll wheel, it's not worth upgrading to the G604. But if you think that the G602 is too big of a mouse for your hand and it slips all the time, then I would recommend trying the G604 before you go to a different brand of mouse, because the G604 is really just a good, fantastic mouse in itself. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a good night.